What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing NBA All-Star Carmelo Anthony. Now, we all know Melo as different personas, more so recently Beanie Melo, previously Hoodie Melo, or some people just generally call him Carmelo Anthony. Um, but the reason why I am talking about Carmelo Anthony is because of this interesting article that I found on therealdeal.com. Now, primarily, this article was shared through Facebook, so that's where I kind of got it from. So this isn't, one of those Facebook stories. This isn't one of those episodes, but this is, where the article originated for me. So once I clicked the link, it directed me to therealdeal.com, and this is a short article about Carmelo Anthony possibly making some moves within the South Bronx area. Now, as I said, it struck me as interest because I myself am a Bronx native, born and raised on East 149th Street in St. John's. That's right off of Southern Boulevard and 3rd Avenue and Hunts Point. Anybody that lives within that area probably has met me before or seen my face. It's been a while since I actually been back home now that I currently live in like Bridgeport, Connecticut area. Connecticut is actually not too far away from New York City. So it takes about, maybe an hour to possibly 2 hour drive, depending on traffic. But anyway, as I said, he is discussing with Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz about this facility located on East 136th Street. Now, what he wants to do is bring in a basketball facility in that part of the South Bronx. Now, my opinions on this is, it's pretty straightforward. I'm super down for this idea. I love it. I think it's smart. I think it's brilliant. I think it's genius, and I think it's real considerate of Carmelo Anthony. Now, we all know Carmelo Anthony is a diehard New Yorker at heart. You know what I'm saying? He loves the city. There was a time when he played for the Knicks and he enjoyed being there, and back in high school and, college and stuff like that, he was going to school in the New York area and stuff like that. If you guys remember his Syracuse year, Syracuse is, upstate New York. Now, where I'm from, obviously, the Bronx, that is considered the boroughs of New York. Now, when you talk about the boroughs, there's Bronx, there's Brooklyn, there's Manhattan, there's Queens, and there's Staten Island. Now, Staten Island is across the water. You know what I'm saying? It's separated from the other inner city boroughs. So there is a reason why it's actually called Staten Island, because it's more of, it's like an island basically, but it's still a city and it's still connected to, the rest of New York. If you were to take that bridge or take like a water taxi or something like that, the ferries and stuff that go back across. That's how you get from Staten Island into like lower Manhattan and Brooklyn, the connectors and shit like that. So yeah, gave you a little backstory about the boroughs, a little rundown for those of you that have never been here. It is great. Certain parts of the city can be very dangerous, where there's still gang related violence and just a lot of homeless people and stuff, people living in poverty. And sometimes it's not good to look at, because it makes you feel bad. But I myself am proud of where I came from. You know what I'm saying? I respect that and I represent it every day, no matter where I go. I'm still a diehard New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to sports, obviously, it's hard being a New York fan in sports because you can see where the Knicks they have failed so many times. This year is looking a little bright for them, but in the past we have failed so many times. You think about the Yankees, they had success, but there is still always roadblocks to their success, and that is the Boston Red Sox. You think about the Mets, no one talks about them. Think about the Jets, terrible. You think about the Giants, just terrible. I'm sorry to say that, Um, but as I said, you can see where I'm going with this. You know what I'm saying? Like New York, it's hard for you to be a New York sports fan. But if you're just a fan of the entire state and the entire city and the entire boroughs within New York, that's something you could live for. So the fact that he is discussing this with the president, the Bronx borough president, that this location in the South Bronx, he is willing to put something there for kids. It's just epic. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing because this will definitely, steer the generation into the right path because there's a lot of kids out there that are, being manipulated into like gang violence and just showing out basically. You know what I'm saying? And there is plenty of detention areas within that Bronx community. And you don't want these kids to end up in there. You know what I'm saying? So give them something to do, give them a place to, do something instead of being on the street, skateboarding at late nights and, hanging out with the wrong crowds and standing on the corners selling stuff. Because I can tell you firsthand, with me being from the Bronx and everything like that, I know how hard it is because I used to be one of those kids. Now, of course, I was raised right. So I never smoked, you know what I'm saying? I never sold anything, but I seen it all firsthand. Just with me being out there, just wanting to be out there those late nights. I knew not to do the wrong things. It's just I wanted to be around those wrong things. And luckily, nothing rubbed off on me growing up. You know what I'm saying? But as I said, I was raised right. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference. Now you got parents this day and age where some of them just don't give a damn about their children. You know what I'm saying? They'll send them out the door and just won't care what they're doing out there. So this place is definitely a safe haven. You know what I'm saying? And with it being, within the primaries of the hood and stuff like that, it'll definitely attract attention and it would definitely want more kids, to be part of this. Because as I said, they're going to resort to this hanging out on the streets and everything like that. And in the city, the cops, the boys, man, whatever you want to call them, they're always on the lookout for us, man. No matter what, we could just be standing there chilling. They're going to be questioning us why we standing here chilling like this. You know what I'm saying? And growing up in the Bronx, you had to tell the difference between the regular officers and the undercover boys. We used to call them the DTs because they were the detectives. They wore street clothes to blend in and look like us. But then they end up pulling us to the side and arresting us, throwing us in the back of their cars and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That was something you always had to look out for. And what they were looking out for was young guys like us who didn't belong on those streets. Even if we were just standing together in a group, they would have automatically thought something was up and they want to question us and throw us up against the walls and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So to prevent all of that, get a kid something positive, something that they could do. Hopefully, if this comes into fold, it is affordable because, as I said, a lot of, neighborhood families and stuff, they cannot afford things like this. But with Carmelo pitching in, this is going to be guaranteed great facility. He has quite amount of money. You know what I'm saying? He has the Jordan brand deal. He's still a big ambassador and entrepreneur. So, I'm not worried about how this setup is going to look. I know it's going to look, pretty decent enough, but is it going to be affordable to those that really can't afford this situation? You know what I'm saying? That's the big question around it. But as I said, not to drag it out anymore, but it is a great idea. I stand behind it, Sorry again. I'm really thirsty. After this video is over, I'm going to go drink some water or maybe some Kool-Aid. But as I said, I stand behind this idea. I really hope they put this into motion. Um, we need to grow our city and make it a safer place for the next generation and the next generation after that one. So give the kids something positive to do by putting them in this, facility, have them run around, get their exercise, be active, and, give them a community to grow together in. So that's what I feel. That's how I feel. And that's what I hope to, see within the near future. You know what I'm saying? One day, if I actually end up coming back home, I would love to visit 136 and see this facility. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you think that this is a great idea. Subscribe if you're new to this channel, and make sure you turn on your post notifications. Those will alert you every time I'm uploading a video or doing a live stream on this channel. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.